Good morning. I'm Rhonda Emmerich, licensed practitioner with Creative Living Fellowship. Thank you for joining me for meditation this morning. If you feel comfortable doing so, please close your eyes, get comfortable in your seat. Just release your mind of any distracting thoughts of what you'll be doing later today, what you did earlier this morning. Just release all those thoughts, knowing that we can pick those thoughts back up when we're finished with the meditation. So just start relaxing your mind, relaxing your face muscles, your neck, your shoulders. Let that relaxation move on down your body, through your arms, through your fingers. Just let any tension, any anxiety just drip out of your fingers. Just let that go and just let the relaxation move on down your body, through your torso, through your hips, the legs, your knees, on down through your ankles, your feet. And if there's any tension or any anxiety left in your body, just let that drip on out through your toes. Just let it go. Let it all go. And just feel the peace overwhelming, overcoming. Just feel it. As we listen to the Om for the next 20 minutes. Now, as we come back into this space, we wiggle our fingers, our toes, adjust in our seat, move our neck. As you feel comfortable doing so, just open your eyes, gently come back into this space as we prepare for the rest of the day. And our service will be starting at 10 a.m. Thank you for joining us today. Namaste.
Good morning, and welcome to the Creative Living Fellowship online Sunday service. Please join us in our opening song, Use Me.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than the earth or the stars or all of creation. God is creator, all in all, needing us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. All that I'm saying is, command my hands. What must they do? Command my life. It's here for you. God is the love that heals all creation. God is creator, makes all things new, and God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. And God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light. God needs us to shine its light as me, as you. So use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do. Show me all that I must do.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to all of you to Creative Living Fellowship and our online Sunday service. I'm the Reverend Dr. Sherry F. McCreary. It is my pleasure to be the senior minister here and to welcome you here this day and to wish you a happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day. This is the day that this country turns 245 years old. 245 years ago in 1776, the Second Continental Congress, Second Continental Congress, I'm sorry, adopted unanimously the Declaration of Independence and declared America's freedom from England. So we celebrate this day every year for the past 245 years. So happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day to each one of you. I'd like to, first of all, thank the practitioners for the wonderful Practitioner Sunday service that they provided for us last Sunday. It was really quite lovely, and I really appreciate all the practitioners who are participating in that service and providing that for us last week. Thank you, Rhonda Emmerich, for the beautiful meditation service this morning. We really appreciate that and appreciate your service. We are an independent religious science church, and we welcome all paths that lead to truth. Our deepest intention here is to be a community of love, care, and connection that opens hearts, expands consciousness, and transforms lives. And we do that through the principles and the practices of the science of mind. We have two practitioners here today who are serving as high watchers. And what that means is they're sitting in meditation and prayerful contemplation, just holding a space for the perfect unfolding of this time that we spend together here today. They are Fran Peck and Peter Waring, and we really appreciate your service today, Peter and Fran. Our AV team, our Sunday service team rather, consists of Nicole Jordan, who is our Sunday service director, and Deb Covington, who is our AV team, and Jill of all trades here. She is also our song leader, and as I said, Jill of all trades. And for our tech team today, we have Reverend Mary Jane Hyde, who is operating the tech machine, whatever that means. So thank you all guys for all of your service here today. And our musical inspiration today is favorite friend, Jill Colucci. Jill hasn't been with us but once, and that was just before we left the building before COVID. And she's back with us again today, and we're really happy to have her back. She'll be back, she'll be with us a little later in the service. Right now, Nicole's going to bring us our announcements, and following the announcements, there will be a brief gong wash. And following the gong wash, there'll be a few moments of silence, and then practitioner Jeannie Sovereigns will bring us our reading and our opening prayer. And I really invite you to take the words of the readings into your heart and into your mind and just allow them to find a resting place there, because they're so meaningful, and they can really, really, really motivate us and inspire us in different kinds of ways. So open your heart to the reading today. First, here's Nicole. So let's take a breath and listen to her.
Good morning, Creative Living Fellowship. It's my pleasure to be here with you this Sunday morning to bring you today's announcements. So let's start off with happy 4th of July, everybody. So excited. We love 4th of July, especially here in the desert where it's really hot. And in the observance of this holiday, our office will be closed tomorrow. So I'm really excited. Day off. And even though we will be off on Monday, we will still have a midday meditation available for you on Monday with a Facebook video premiere. Meditation is a great mindfulness practice that helps us to be present in the now. So why not join us for midday meditation on Facebook to start or support your meditation practice? Midday meditation is at noon, Monday through Thursday on our Facebook page. You can also join us for Sunday's pre-service 20-minute meditation at 9:35 a.m. in Zoom or now on our Sunday live streams. Get your community care and connection on with your CLF family and Reverend Sherry every Tuesday as she hosts a Zoom meeting at 6:30 p.m. This week, Reverend Sherry will be leading Conscious Conversation. If you would like to suggest a conversation topic or activity, please send an email to Reverend Sherry at connect@creativelivingfellowship.com. We look forward to seeing you on Tuesday. We are so excited to offer you a new workshop this July. And who better to tell you about this workshop than our facilitator, McCreary.
Good morning, CLF. It's Cheryl McCreary here, and I am so thrilled to offer Rise Up Stronger, 4 ways to bounce back, to reset, and to soar into the new normal. In this workshop that's coming up, we are going to be spending time together in spiritual practice, looking at practical action steps, and really doing a mindset shift and a paradigm shift around how we move forward into this new normal. So if you've been feeling a little bit like some stuff from the past is holding you back, or maybe there's some stuff weighting you down, or you're not really sparked about your vision for moving forward, or have lost the threads of that vision moving forward, this is the workshop for you. I encourage you to join us on Saturday, July 17th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time. And we are going to band together and work together, explore together, have fun together, and transform together. And most importantly, rise up stronger together. I hope you'll join me.
You can find the link for this amazing workshop in the comments or on Facebook, our websites. But whatever you do, you want to sign up today because this is going to be an amazing Saturday. Something else that is new for CLF is Monday practice with Reverend Jorge. Every Monday for 30 minutes, gather for special teaching and spiritual practice. Together with Reverend Jorge, dive deep into the heart of our divine reality. Say yes to this weekly invitation to discover how to live in the non-dual reality of divine love. We know that everyone has the capacity to grow deeper in their relationship with God and their cosmic Christ within. This capacity is developed through conscious and intentional practice that we offer every Monday, and then encourage you to practice individually during the week when we're apart. The practice of contemplation, prayer, and introspection facilitates a change in consciousness. It opens us to see the big picture, to see beyond our own boundaries and self-interest, straight into the face of God, from whom all life is made. And remember, practice is like swimming. Nobody can swim for you, but you can have support. So join Reverend Jorge on Mondays, starting July 19th at 6:30 p.m. Are you curious about becoming a CLF member? Are you sure that you want to become a CLF member? Or do you want to reactivate your membership? Great. Please use the link provided in the comments and the chats to let us know your interest. And then as soon as we schedule a new member orientation, which is the step to become a member at CLF, we will contact you and let you know. Remember, you can text to give to make your contributions to CLF. Simply text the amount you would like to tithe to 602-610-1868. If it's your first time donating by text, you'll be sent a link to set up your account. And then after that, it's as easy as texting the amount you'd like to give to 602-610-1868. And CLF is a tithing church, which means that we tithe off of your donations. And our 2021 second quarter tithes of $2,950 went to Teen Lifeline. And our third quarter tithes will be going to Child Crisis Arizona, providing children and youth in Arizona a safe environment. So speaking of those quarterly tithes, we're always looking for more nonprofits to send your quarterly tithes to. So if you have a nonprofit you would like to nominate, please use the link found in the comments to submit your recommendation. And just a reminder, we have a new mailing address. You can also find this address on our website, posted on our Facebook page, or in your weekly newsletter. Our Sunday prayer room is available to you after service today. Get your after service prayer with a practitioner by heading on over to Zoom using the link provided in the comments. Prayer room participants are transferred by the host into a breakout room for a private session with one of our licensed practitioners. And all you have to do is show up and ask for prayer. After service, we have Sunday fellowship too. Join practitioner Jeannie Sovereigns in Facebook Messenger chat from 11:15 to 12:15 and hang out, discuss the service, whatever else is on your mind or heart, what your plans are for 4th of July, and just connect with your CLF family. You can find the details for all of our events with their links on our website under events, under the Facebook events, posted in the weekly or in the comments or in your weekly newsletter. That's it for today's announcements. It is now time to move on to our gong wash, followed by a moment of silence.
Today's reading is excerpted from The Pathway of Roses by Christian D. Larson. Return ye unto God. Wherever we may be, whatever has happened or whatever may threaten to happen, it matters not. There is a power that can change everything. There are no reasons for sorrow, fear, or regret. There are no occasions for anxiety, discouragement, or despair. There is a path that leads to the world of the heart's desire, and anyone may find it. Great learning is not required, nor shall we find certain fixed beliefs necessary. The secret is simple, simple enough for any mind in the world, because it is the will of infinite love that every mind in the world shall know the way. None need to stumble, none need to go astray, none need ever be lost. All that is necessary is to follow the voice of the soul. And this voice is ever proclaiming in language divine, return ye unto God. The world has tried every imaginable method to gain freedom. But when all these methods fail, as they will, return ye unto God. The moment we return to Him, all that we have lost will return to us, and that which we do not wish for will vanish. Return ye unto God all other paths that lead to sorrow and death. But in him there is freedom and joy forever. In him there is life. In him there is peace. In him there is wholeness and purity. In him there is strength. In him there is health. In him there is power and truth. In him there is all that life holds in store for man, all that the human heart can wish for. Seek no other source and follow no other path. There is only one place where the soul finds rest and contentment, where every vision is realized and every lofty dream made true. All may find it, and the secret is simple. Return ye unto God. In this moment, as God, breath, divine, the one spirit, heartbeat, love that is me, that is everyone present within the sound of my voice and beyond. I, Jeannie, speak my word for the highest and best good, for this day, for this service, for Reverend Dr. Sherry's message, that each receives what it is that they need. I bless everyone involved with this service, teachers of all faiths, and our beautiful country. Every leader, every teacher, knowing that they are blessed. As we return ye unto God, knowing that each moment, each breath, each celebration of freedom is divine, and that this path is expressed individually and collectively. I am grateful. I am so grateful for this time together, knowing that these blessings are already done in the mind of God. I release this word with great gratitude, knowing our freedom is divine. And together we say, and so it is. It is also my divine pleasure to introduce our musical inspiration for today, Jill Colucci, sorry.
Good morning. Thank you for having me this morning at Creative Living Fellowship. I'm happy to be here with you today, and I'd like to share a song that I wrote with my dear friend Patricia Bahia. And we were really fortunate to be nominated for a Posse nomination just this past year with this song. It's called All Out of Stones. I've been pointing my finger at you for so long. Instead of looking in the mirror at where I might have been wrong, I'm tired of all the hurt and pain, the pain that anger brings. I finally have to walk away, let go of everything. I'm all out of stones. stand here alone. Nothing left to throw. I had to let him go. I'm all out of stones. I've been holding on to anger. Another lesson learned. Anytime I throw hot embers, I'm the one who gets burned. Now I lay my weapons down in the dirt. Don't want to fight you anymore. There's no winning at this game of hurt. No point in keeping score, 'cause I'm all out of stones. I stand here alone. Nothing left to throw. I had to let him go. I'm all out of stones. Words can be a weapon, or they can be a cure. We all have imperfections, this I know for sure. Now it's time that I forgive you, time I forgive myself. I'm tired of living in this prison. I'm walking out of that cell, all out of stones. I stand here alone. Nothing left to throw. I had to let him go. I'm all out of stones. Nothing left to throw. I had to let him go. I'm all out of stones.
Wow, what a beautiful song. All out of stones. Thank you so much, favorite friend Jill Colucci. She was with us just before we left our in-person services. And that was the only time she was with us. And now she's back with us on video. And we look forward to having her back with us when we're in person again real soon. But thank you so much, Jill, for that beautiful, beautiful song. We are all out of stones. Let's take a breath as we let those stones go that we're out of. We move into this new month of July, and this year just keeps passing right by. I say this every month at the first Sunday of the month. And it's true, the year keeps racing right by us. And so here we are, just beyond halfway through the year in the month of July. This is the month that we think of independence, the month that we think of freedom, the month that we are really midsummer also when we think of heat when you live here in Arizona. But the thing is that it is a new month. It is a time for us to have a new theme. And our theme for the month is freedom in spiritual liberation. Freedom in spiritual liberation. The freedom in spiritual liberation. And I really want you to think about that. But first of all, I want to just remind you that we were all working on particular spiritual qualities that we were going to allow to work with us this year, to reveal themselves in and through and as our lives. And I would just like to know how you're doing with those. How are you still working with them? Are you still allowing them to to reveal themselves in and through and as your life. Whatever it is that your quality was for the year that you're working on, it's supposed to be for the whole year. And one thing about it, working with a particular quality is not a destination, it's a journey. It's a journey, it's a process. And we begin to realize that as it's kind of like just peeling an onion. You just peel off one skin, one layer, you peel off another layer, and then another whole thing shows up for us to have to smooth out. And that's how we work with our spiritual qualities. And that's what I'm inviting you to do. I also invited you at the beginning of the year, and I remind you of this every month, to be 100% committed to peace and what that looks like in your life, being 100% committed to peace. And so I'm trusting that you all are continuing to work with these qualities, to work with these commitments, and more importantly, to allow these commitments to work with us, because once we set our intention to do that or make a commitment to do that, they will work with us in so many ways that we can't even imagine until it actually shows up. So continue to work with your spiritual quality that's revealing itself in and through and as your life, and see how your life is just unfolding, how your life is changing. And so, as I said, this month we're talking about spiritual liberation. Spiritual liberation. Michael Beckwith, in his book of the same title, defines spiritual liberation as becoming free from the confusion of worry and anxiety, and fear and doubt and lack, and living instead from a conscious awareness of one's authentic self. Spiritual liberation means becoming free of the confusion of anxiety, worry, fear, doubt, lack, and living instead from a place of conscious awareness of our authentic self. That's what spiritual liberation is. And there's so much freedom in that spiritual liberation when we really get in touch with our authentic self. And our authentic self is our spiritual self. And the freedom in that is when we know, but beyond a shadow of a doubt, that we are spiritual beings living in a spiritual universe governed by spiritual law. Yet we're having a human experience and learning how to balance that human experience that we're having, while knowing all along that we are spiritual beings, that we do live in a spiritual universe, and that we are governed by spiritual law, regardless as to what anyone else may say or what we may think or how we may try to avoid it. There's no getting around it. We are all governed by spiritual law because we are spiritual beings, and this is a spiritual universe. And so as we continue to really be with that and continue to return unto that, then that's how we are returning unto God, as the reading says. My topic for today is return ye. It's return ye. Return ye unto God, return ye unto your authentic self. Because when you return, they're one and the same. When we return unto God, we are returning unto our authentic selves. When we return unto our authentic selves, we are returning unto God. And so it's so important for us to recognize that we have the freedom to return unto God, and we have the freedom not to return unto God. We have the freedom to return unto God, and we have the freedom not to return unto God. Ernest Holmes says that God didn't seek to control us. God left us alone to discover ourselves. And we can discover our authentic selves by returning unto God and recognizing who we really are as spiritual beings, or not. God doesn't punish us for not following God, for not returning unto God. We're punished by our own mistakes. We're punished by our own mistakes. The mistakes themselves if there's punishment to be had, that's where the punishment comes from. So we have, knowing this truth, then we can really set our intention to keep returning unto God more and more and more, returning unto God over and over and over, returning unto our authentic selves over and over and over, remembering who we are every moment of every day. That's what returning unto God is all about. Remembering who we are really and truly. Who am I? That is the question for each of us to ask ourselves. Who am I? Who am I? Daring to ask that question and then daring to answer it. Daring to answer it. Is this who I want to be? Is this the way I want to be? Is this how I want to live? Is this how I want to show up in the world? Is this my authentic self that's showing up here? If not, how do I release this and whatever it is that's showing up here so that my authentic self is revealing itself, so that I am living in the truth of who I am. So I'm living in the truth of who I was created to be. And so when we can be in that place, that's where the freedom is. And that's what spiritual liberation does for us. It gives us the opportunity. It gives us the opportunity to let go of the stuff that we hold on to. Let go of the confusion of the worry. Let go of the confusion of the anxiety. Let go of the confusion of the fear. Let go of the confusion of the doubt. And to become more consciously aware of our authentic selves. And there's enough going on in the world today for us to get caught up in the confusion of worry, of anxiety, of all that stuff, of lack, of limitation. That's when you turn on the TV, that's all you hear about is the lack, the limitation, the separation. But when we can remember who we are, when we can remember who God is, when we can remember that all we have to do is take a deep breath, and that deep breath brings us back to the center of our being. And as Ernest Holmes says, the thing for us to recall is that at the very center of our being is that divine presence, the only presence that is. And when we take a breath and consciously return to the center of our being, we are returning unto God. We are returning unto God. It's just as simple as that. It's just as simple as that, taking a breath with the intention of returning unto God, returning to our center over and over and over and over and over again. Ernest Holmes says we must do this daily. And when and in his writings, he talks about the things we have to do daily. We have to do daily. We have to daily establish ourselves in the conviction that there's a divine presence within us. This is what Holmes says. We have to daily establish ourselves in the conviction that there's a divine presence within us. And we have to daily reunite ourselves with that presence. We have to daily reunite ourselves with that presence. Daily reunite ourselves with that presence. We have to daily seek to have inner communion with that presence. For it is, and recognize that that presence is that which protects us, that which keeps us safe. We have to daily release any sense of confusion about anything. These are the things that Holmes says we have to do. And what he's saying in so many words is we have to return unto God. We have to return unto God daily. And I'm saying to you that we have to do it moment by moment throughout the day, every day, each and every day, because there are so many things that can distract us. So it's so important for us to just really not get distracted. And then when we do get distracted, oh well, fasten your seatbelt, come back to center, take a deep breath, and then keep moving forward again. Keep moving forward again. You can't sit down in the road and cry or whine or do whatever it is that we do as much as we like to. We have to be willing to fasten those seatbelts and keep moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. This is how we really experience the freedom that God gave us at the very beginning. The freedom to live our lives the way we want, the freedom to live our best lives, the freedom to live a full life, the freedom to have a rich life. And our freedom is determined by us. It's determined by how we choose to live. It's determined by how we choose to let go of the confusion, or if we choose to let go of the confusion. Because, letting go of the confusion means that we have to start living a drama-free life. That can be pretty boring for some people who like drama. Living a drama-free life can be pretty boring. I have some friends who don't visit anymore, but who used to visit, who thought that I lived a pretty boring life, that things were pretty boring in my life because there was never any excitement, they said. and excitement for them translated into drama. And no, I live a pretty drama-free life, and it's real solid, and it's real easygoing, and it does, you know, there's some bumps along the way, yes, but drama-free living is really, I guess, not for the faint of heart, for those people who like a lot of excitement. Roller coaster living is not for the is it's not for me. But at any rate, the thing for us to keep in mind is that when there's drama, there's a lot of confusion, and we want to just let that confusion go. We want to let go of the worry and the fear and the doubt and those things that would hold us back. We want to let those things go, and we want to just live with ease and with grace and with love and with peace and with joy and with serenity and with all those things. And when we're in a place of spiritual liberation, then, you know, we can get to experience all those things. We can get to experience all those things because we recognize that from the place of our authentic self, we can make that kind of choice. We can make the kinds of choices that allow us to live the lives that we really, really want to live. And so a couple of things I'm inviting you to do this week. One of them is to be compassionate. Spiritual liberation allows us to be compassionate, allows us to go to compassion rather than to judgment or pity even. It allows us to go to compassion, that place of the open heart, that place of love, that place of acceptance of others and of ourselves. That's what compassion is all about. It's really being in that place of an open heart, and really being in that place of empathy where we can relate to others rather than judging others, where we can be empathetic with ourselves even rather than judging ourselves. And the difference in compassion and pity comes more from a place of fear, or a place of a closed heart. It comes from a place of superiority, usually. Generally, people think of pitying those who are less than in some way, or their experience is less than in some way. Compassion is more accepting, more open-hearted. And so we want to come from a place of, be open to coming from a place of compassion in our lives. Sure, there are people we meet who are totally different, who think differently than we do. They look different than we do. They act differently than we do. And rather than judging, let's see if we can come from a place of compassion. Be compassionate, just appreciating where they are. You may not agree with them. You may not want them to be around you. You may not want to be around them. But rather than judging, just being in a place of understanding that they are where they are. You may not understand what their position is. You may not understand why they act that way. You may not understand any of that, but just understanding that this is where they are and allowing them to be where they are. This is what compassion is all about. Allowing them to be where they are with an open heart and a place of non-judgment. This is what spiritual liberation is all about. This is what spiritual liberation allows us to do, how it allows us to be. This is where the freedom for us comes in, when our hearts can be open and we can allow others to be the way they are, and we can allow ourselves to make the mistakes that we make and make the changes that we need to make, and be gentle as we go along, being gentle with ourselves. Let's take a breath for a moment. You know, I was and thinking about compassion for ourselves. I was really thinking of some of the responses that came back in the survey results that we just did, and many people dealt with the issue of separation from community and isolation during the time of the pandemic. And I was just and looking at some of the other answers that we had there, it made me think about what really many people were dealing with was loss, a sense of loss of community, loss of connection, a sense of loss of the way things used to be. And the issue that underlies all that is grief. One thing that spiritual liberation does, and being our authentic self does, it allows us to really be in a place of grieving and recognizing that we are grieving. recognizing and that it's okay to grieve. It's okay to grieve because yes, there has been a loss over this past 16 months of everything being different. There have been losses in many different kinds of ways. It feels difficult. And sometimes people don't want to admit that they feel that way. Maybe your living situation has changed. You've had to change your residence, or maybe maybe there's been a loss of a loved one. And our hearts are broken at that loss of a loved one. For some of us, there's been a loss of community. It seems like a loss of community because we don't get to see each other. We don't get to connect with each other. We don't get to hug each other. We don't get to go out the way we used to, or celebrate, or do whatever the fun things were we used to do. All of these things have become a part of our psyche. They have become a part of the way we live our lives. And sometimes we forget it still feels like a loss. It still is a loss, because anytime there's a change, even when there's a change for the better, there's a loss of something. There's a loss of the way things used to be. And whether you like it or not, or whether you're really happy for the change, what are you doing with your feelings about the loss of what was? Doesn't mean you want to go back there. It just means that really dealing with and allowing yourself to grieve the loss, to feel the grief of the loss, to feel the grief of the fact that we no longer have 6530 North 7th Street as our property for our church. Feel the grief and the sense of loss that we won't see, that when we come back together, and we will be coming back together real soon, sooner than you know, sooner than we know. But it won't be the way it used to be. And you know what? It'll be the way it is. And we'll be accepting of that, and we'll be happy about that, and we will really celebrate that. And there may be some grieving in there that needs to happen. There may be some acknowledgement that we need to do of the fact that this is different. This isn't the way it used to be. This isn't familiar to me any longer. And so what we have to do is to really allow ourselves to be in that place of being free to grieve, being free to grieve, being free to cry if you need to, being free to express your grief however you need to do, so long as you're not expressing it all over somebody else. If grieving brings up anger, so long as you're not expressing that all over somebody else. So the important thing for us to do is to learn to do that, and being compassionate with ourselves as we do that, and being compassionate with others as they go through their process. So getting to the point where we are really practicing compassion before we practice judgment. Practice compassion before we practice judgment. And the other thing that I'd really like us to look at is, Ernest Holmes says that we want to live by inspiration. And we live by inspiration by really getting into the fullness of living and bringing our whole selves into whatever it is we're doing, wherever it is we are, however it is we're being, just bringing our whole self into that. And so what I'm encouraging you to do is, don't engage in toe in the water living. Don't engage in toe in the water living. Deep dive into living. Whatever it is you're doing, dive right in. Bring the allness and the fullness of who you are into whatever it is you're doing. This is what spiritual liberation allows us to do. It gives us the freedom to not engage in toe in the water living. We get a chance to live freely, to live fully, whatever it is we find ourselves engaged in. Bring our whole self to whatever it is we do. Bring our whole self. And when we bring our whole self, we bring our best self. Bringing our best self to whatever it is we're doing. Bringing our best self to whatever it is we do. And when we're bringing our best self, we're bringing our authentic self. We're bringing our authentic selves. And so, these are the ways in which we can return unto God. These are the ways that we return unto our authentic selves. When we can let go of those things that would block in any way. Let go of those things that would block in any way. And always keep in mind that our first stop is always God. Our first stop is always God. Our first stop must always be God. And that's the thing for us to keep in mind, that the first stop has to be God. So when we return unto God, when we return unto ourselves, the first stop is always God. The first stop is always God. And this is how we walk through this time of experiencing the freedom that God gave us from the very beginning, since before the beginning. This is how we experience the freedom to be free. This is how we experience the freedom to be free, when we can just open up, let go, and live full out. These are the things that we really, really want to do. And this is what we do as we move through this time in our individual lives. And this is what we do as we move through this time in our country. Because there's so much healing that needs to happen here in our country. And what it really means is that there's so much healing that needs to happen within each one of us, because we are our country, because we are our community. And it all starts with each one of us. Healing has to start with me. Healing has to start with you. Peace has to start with me. Love has to start with me. It has to start with you. And so when we are praying for ourselves, we are praying for our country. When we want the country to change, we're wanting to change those things within ourselves, because we couldn't see those things if they were not existing within ourselves. So when we see things that really disturb us, or things that we really don't like, we need to stop for a moment and ask, where is that in me? Where am I showing up that way? How am I showing up with judgment? How am I showing up with hatred? How am I showing up blowing people off? How am I showing up with separation? How am I showing up with anger? When we ask that question, that takes us back to our authentic self, because it gives us the opportunity to clear out those things that are not serving us. And so I'm inviting you to really be in that place of wanting, yes, to live from that place of our spiritual center, our very center, and wanting to take this out into the world and out into our country, and just making the world a better place for all of us, making the world a place of wholeness, a place of joy, a place of love, a place of comfort, a place of ease for all of us. And it's not too late to do that. It's not too late to do that. And so I'm inviting all of us to pray for ourselves. And that's the important thing. Pray for ourselves, pray for each other, and most importantly, pray for our enemies. Pray for those people that we don't like that much. Pray for those people who don't like us that much. But pray for all. It's important for us to do that. It's important for us to do that. That's what oneness is all about. That's what oneness is all about. Because we're all in this world together. We're all in this life together. And it is so important. It is so important for us to live freely so that we can all be free. Live freely in the heart space so that we can all be free. So that we can all be free. So why don't we turn within right now for prayer, as we just move into this place of an open heart, an open mind, an open being. Just taking a breath together, just moving into that place of just knowing and sensing and feeling God's presence right here, right now. Recognizing that only power, that only presence, that only life, that only breath, that only mind, that is God. Knowing that this onlyness that is God is my very life. It is the life of each of us here this day. It is that within which I live and I move and I have my being. And it lives and it moves and it has its being in me. And so just knowing this truth, I speak the word for each of us this day, speaking a word of freedom. Speaking a word of freedom. Knowing that we are each and all free to be all what we were created to be. As we release and let go of the worry and the anxiety and the doubt and the fear and the sense of separation, we let go of all that stuff and we open our hearts to love and peace and harmony and joy and balance and all those wonderful, wonderful, wonderful qualities of God. that are ours by divine birthright. And we allow them to become manifest in our lives right here and right now. And so I speak the word for each and every one of us, the healing in our body temples, knowing that there's the radiant presence of God moving in and through every organ, cell, tissue function of our bodies, healing, making whole everyone and everything. As we release and let go of any sense of separation, just allowing that healing presence of God to move through our bodies of affairs, allowing that presence of God to heal anything that is unlike itself. Everything else just falls away. I speak a special word of blessing for our country today, and I'd like to speak the word that Ernest Holmes, our founder, wrote for our country back in 1953. And he called it "My Prayer for My Country." Believing in the divine destiny of the United States of America and in the preservation of liberty, security, and self-expression for all, I offer this, my prayer for my country. I know that divine intelligence governs the destiny of the United States of America, directing the thought and the activity of all who guide its affairs. I know that success, prosperity, and happiness are the gifts of freedom and the divine heritage of everyone in this country, that they are now operating in the affairs of every individual in this country. I know that divine guidance enlightens the collective mind of the people of this country, causing it to know that economic security may come to all without the loss of either personal freedom or individual self-expression. I know that no one can believe or be led to believe that personal freedom must be surrendered in order to ensure economic security for all. The all-knowing mind contains the answer to every problem which confronts this country. I know that every leader in this country is now directed by this all-knowing mind and has the knowledge of a complete solution to every problem. Each is impelled to act upon this knowledge to the end that abundance, security, and peace shall come to all. And I know that this spiritual democracy shall endure, guaranteeing to everyone in this country personal liberty, happiness, and self-expression. And so for the perfect manifestation of this word spoken so long ago by Ernest Holmes and spoken again here today in faith and belief, I give thanks. I give thanks for the perfect manifestation of the word. I give thanks for the knowing that all is well. I give thanks for the knowing that all is God. And so it is. Yes.
Wow, that was really powerful. Thank you, Reverend Sherry, for those inspiring words. It moved me deeply. And now is the time for us to participate in the divine law of giving and receiving by giving of our tithes and offerings. CLF is a tithing church, and we invite you to join us in this sacred practice by tithing here at CLF. Click on the donate link on our website or in the comments in Zoom or on Facebook. And you can also give by texting on your smartphone, text to give. We appreciate your continued financial support of CLF. Thank you. And now let's move into
our offering blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God. And so it is. And here again is Jill Colucci with our offering music.
This is a brand new song. It's so new that I have a little cheat sheet here with me today, just in case. Hopefully I won't need it, but it's there for me as a backup. So the song is called Shine the Light of Love. We were born to light up the darkness, light the way for all the world to see. We are here to love one another. Together, you and me, we live our destiny. We shine the light of love, shine the light of love, shine the light of love on the world. We will seek truth and understanding, build a bridge across the great divide. Hand in hand, we'll walk into tomorrow. Together, side by side, with our hearts open wide, we'll shine the light of love, shine the light of love, shine the light of love on the world. Make no mistake, it's give and take. Unite together, we'll stand as one for all humanity, and shine the light of love, shine the light of love, shine the light of love on the world. Sing it with me one time, here we go. Let's shine the light of love, shine the light of love, shine the light of love on the world. We were born to light up the darkness.
Oh my, such a beautiful song. Thank you so much, Jill Colucci. Isn't that a wonderful song? Shine the light of love. And I invite us all to do that as we leave this place this day. While we're in this place this day, shine the light of love. And I think that is so important for us to do. And I forgot to say congratulations to Jill on the Posse Award nomination. So congratulations, Jill. The very best to you. We wish the very best to you. And we look forward to you joining us again real soon. So let's take a breath together. I have a couple of closing announcements just to remind you that Jeannie Sovereigns has the the fellowship time. Couldn't remember the fellowship time after service today. Immediately after service, practitioner Jeannie Sovereigns will be holding the fellowship time. You can join her there for conversation, breaking bread together, for connection. That's the important thing, and sharing. So join Jeannie after service today. And the practitioners will be in the Zoom prayer room, which will be open immediately after service also. So if you'd like to have prayer with a practitioner in a private room, be sure and join a practitioner in the prayer room for prayer in person, or you in person in Zoom, that is. Or you can email a practitioner at prayer@creativelivingfellowship.com. The practitioners pray over the prayer requests that are sent to them for 30 days. Or you can call an on-call practitioner 24/7. You can find their contact information in the comments or on our website. But the point is, don't walk around with a heavy heart. Allow the practitioners to do for you what they do best, and that's pray for you and hold the truth for you. And they are anxious to serve in that way. So contact our practitioners if you feel a need to do so. Tuesday evenings, I still do Tuesday evening connection meetings, and those times that we spend together are quite wonderful. This week we are having a conscious conversation, 6:30 to 7:45. If you've never joined us, I invite you to. If you have joined us, I invite you to come on back and join us on Sunday, not Sundays, Tuesday evenings, this Tuesday, 6:30 to 7:45. Importantly, don't forget to read the treatment for supply, to pray the treatment for supply. It works, it continues to work, and it continues to work as long as you're working it. And just continue to move into a different place, a different level. That is another way of returning unto God, just by constantly using that treatment for supply over and over again. That becomes a part of our spiritual practice. And importantly, reaching out to each other, connecting with each other. It isn't as long as it has been before we will see each other again. And I invite you to start reaching out now, again, with text messages, calls, emails, however it is you connect, just to say, I love you, I miss you, I can't wait to see you. And that's what I'm saying to each and every one of you here today. I love you, I miss you, I can't wait to see you in person, and that's going to be happening real soon. So take good care of yourselves. God bless. Let's have now our closing song, our release.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm